we would normally have called the meeting to order 5 minutes ago, but we'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. The first thing to do is that we need to consider the approval of the minutes, but we didn't have any meetings in May or April, but we did have meetings in March. So we will approve, or at least consider the approval of those March 14 minutes at our next called meeting, since we don't have a copy of those minutes. And it was a pretty packed meeting, so we will definitely need to look those minutes over before the next meeting. Let's see, there's no real place to put new business, so we'll just do it here. That leads us to the idea of a next called meeting. So June 27th at 4 o'clock. I think there's going to be a call put out and an agenda sent to us. At that meeting, we can approve or consider the approval of the March 14 minutes. We can also, if the city council has by then nominated a replacement for place one, Ricky Thurman is the person that they're replacing because he's now a city council person. And so we'll need to, swear in the new person if we can on June 27th. And if not, we'll defer that until July. The other thing is we would need to replace Ricky Thurman as our vice chair. So I would ask to consider, for you to consider who we would want to do, we would want that to be. And so we'll do the swearing in and the election of the selection of the vice chair at our next called meeting as well. So please put that on the agenda. So now we have the public hearing, and we have 4 cases. We'll begin with case number V 2019-003. So Karen, you want to present that to us?
Yes, so the applicant has met the requirements of the application to be considered for the 25-foot variance, and the staff has no objection. Case number B 2019-003, applicant Kobe Pack has requested a 25-foot lot width variance from section 5.3.D3 of the Stephenville zoning ordinance in order to construct a dwelling unit in an R1 zone district located at 950 McCart, being lot 7, lot 3 of the Butler addition to the city of Stephenville. So the property is currently zoned R1. Future land use is single family district is R1. There's a lot width requirement.
Is this lot width that we're dealing with, the lot width?
The one that this one here is the lot width. So for R1, it is 75 by 100, and he's requesting, he wants the property to be 50 by 100. And I think Kobe's here.
Here's-
So
And
he
Kobe,
can
you're here.
explain.
Yep.
Yes, I thought it was 4:30, I almost missed it. Basically, in that addition, all the lots are 50 by 100. My lot actually is 100 by 120. So basically what I'm doing, or you can see it right here. See it right here. See, all of them around are 50 by 100 or 50 by 120. Mine's 100 by 120, so basically I'm gonna go in there and about separate the 2 lots out, make it look like all the rest of the lots around. And then what that'll be able to do is if I divide that into 50 by 120, which was a normal R3, I don't know who decided to ever put that in R1. I mean, that wouldn't, but I can put another 1,000 or 1,200 square foot house right there. But how it sets now, it would be an R1, of course, is a 1,500 square foot house. Well, no offense, but in that area, you couldn't put a 1,500 square foot house anywhere and have it appraised. I mean, because they're all like 800 to 1,000 square foot houses in that neighborhood. There might be one 1,200, but I mean, they're all lower. So basically, that's all I'm asking to do is divide that off, and then so I can put another house there.
So that'll make each lot
50 by 120.
50 by 120.
Yes, it'll look just like this lot right there. Basically, they did that. As a matter of fact, it looks like
Yeah, I'm not
one
sure why that
sixty-five,
was
one
exempt.
fifty-five, they basically just divided it, I
Okay, so
had this lot
100
very
is your
long.
current width,
50's my current width, yes.
or 50 each? You could-
50,
Total of
100
100.
is my current width now, and I'm going to 50, just like, pretty much all the
Right,
rest of them.
right.
So an R1 district requires it to be 75 feet width, and
Mhm.
he's wanting to reduce that.
To 50.
To 50,
That's-
Which makes
that's his
sense if it's
reason.
uniform
mean,
in
right.
the neighborhood.
And how that house, if we went back to the picture overhead, how that house is setting over, basically right here, it's sitting on the 50-foot lot. And so you can make a case that whoever owned it a long time ago was on a, divided like the rest of them.
So we have three options, and Karen, they include,
So you can approve the variance request, you can approve the variance request with modifications, or you can deny the variance request.
right. And just for the board's sake, since we have some new members, we must or shall consider the facts filed, the testimony presented, the technical report by the city staff, and the board's findings. And so we can grant an appeal based on those criteria. Thanks, Colby. Do you have any other questions for Colby?
Any questions?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not, the only phone call I got after the letter went out was a mobile home. There's not gonna be a mobile home. I don't even think you can put mobile homes in the city anymore anyways. So, I mean, that's not, and that was the only concern. It was one neighbor called and said, hey, I'm fine with it as long as you don't put a mobile home. And I said, I'm not.
So you're
You know.
building dwellings, or is there an existing
There's
building
an
you're gonna renovate?
existing dwelling on that one. I'm building another one. See this driveway right here?
Oh, hang on.
See this driveway that goes right there?
Uh-huh,
That's where I'm gonna build a house right here.
okay.
And then this right here this house is on my other 50-foot lot.
You're
See
gonna
that?
renovate that in any way, or is it
Hmm?
just as is?
What's that, ma'am?
Are you gonna renovate that house?
It's
in
already
any
been
way?
renovated. It's in the process. I've already replaced sheetrock and I rewired the whole house. I brought it up to code and made it a little nicer. Of course, I mean, one of those houses you can't really, but new roof, re-sheetrock, put brand new wiring in it, and I've renovated it. And now I'm just wanting to build another one right beside it to take advantage of that lot.
So you're gonna cut those trees down?
My goal is, and I've talked to Fred Parker, is I do not want to cut trees down, and I think that I can shove that house back there behind these trees, and I'll still be able to meet it. It'll be just set further back in the lot a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I'm hoping, because I would rather keep those big pecan trees.
Oh, yes, they're pretty trees.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
We'll hear from you here in a minute, so don't go anywhere. All right. Anybody else from the community want to speak to this request? All right. Well, I'll go ahead and close the public hearing. The board can make a motion, and then we can discuss, and then we can vote. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve case number V 2019-003 as presented.
Do I hear a second?
I second that
Thanks,
motion.
Janet. Any discussion? All right, sounds good. I wish we could put something in there about not cutting down trees and not putting a mobile home, but I think.
I think there's no mobile homes already.
In that zone anyway. But we would love to hear in 20 years that you did keep the trees if it's possible. They're self-pruning.
I love them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're big trees, and I'm gonna try to keep them.
Okay,
We'll take it at your word.
yeah. All right, so all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay, it's passed. They have to pass today all unanimously, or they're either rejected or passed, because we have 4 for a quorum, so. All right, very good. We will move along then to case number V 2019-004. Karen.
So applicant Kobe Pack is requesting a square foot lot size variance from section 5.3.D2 of the Stephenville zoning ordinance in order to construct a dwelling unit in an R1 zone district located at 950 McCart, being Lot 7, Block 3 of the Butler addition to the city of Stephenville. The applicant has met all the requirements of the application to be considered for the 2,500 square foot lot size variance. So his lot size is minimum of 7,500 square foot, which is why he's asking for the 2,500 square foot variance.
So it's two different? I thought it was all together, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's 3 individual cases, so one will be on your lot width, one will be on your, lot size, and one will be on your house size.
Okay.
So the dimensions we've already discussed,
Yes.
we're just looking at dealing with those in this
Yes.
next case.
Yes.
All right, and you're asking for a variance and same criteria as before, and we have the same 3 alternatives. So Colby, do you want to come
It's
back?
same deal. I
What-
mean,
Size dwelling, where you wanting to put there?
it's gonna be like 1,200, 1,000 to 1,200. It's gonna be either a 2-2 or a 3-2. That's my options right now, and I'm trying to figure out how to place it on there.
Oh, I see, yeah, okay.
So, it looks like you'd be within your lot size, no matter what.
Right, I mean, it's, yes. For some reason, a long time ago, somebody took this out of an R3 and put it in an R1,
Right,
for whatever reason.
okay. Thanks, Colby.
Thanks.
Yeah. Anyone from the community speaking to this? Okay. Well, do I hear a motion regarding this case number?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we accept case number V2019-004 as presented.
A second.
All right. And just for the record, it's 0, not O, right?
Sorry.
Because they're just 2 different things, and just want us
Okay.
to be technical about it. So
Thank you.
it's 2019, and
I'll remember.
yeah, it's just one of the, I'm a radio person, so anyway. Very good. All right. So do we have a second from Devin, and any discussion on this? All right. I'll go in. We'll ask for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And no opposed. Okay. Karen, case number V 2019-005.
Applicant Kobe Pack has requested a 500 square foot minimum house size variance from section 5.3.D8B of the Stephenville zoning ordinance in order to construct a dwelling unit in an R1 zone district located at 950 McCart, being Lot 7, Block 3 of the Butler addition to the city of Stephenville. He is proposing 1,000, the R1 is a requirement of 1,000 square foot, and he's wanting 500 square feet
Right.
for the floor area.
Okay.
So he's wanting an additional 500
He's wanting to reduce it to
Reduce.
or?
500.
500.
As a minimum. I mean, it's going back to that the
R3 versus R1.
Right.
He would still have to require, he would still have to meet the setbacks. He
Right.
would be required to meet those setbacks.
Yeah.
And the only thing that this would do is if I could only fit a 2, like a 2-1 or 2-2 that's 800 foot, I wouldn't have to come back to you and say, start all over, basically.
Right. Yeah, and we're not asking for any kind of, he's not asking for any kind of change in easement or, any of that kind of thing, so.
No, sir.
All right. Any other questions for Colby? All right, thanks, Mr. Pack. Do I hear a motion from the board?
I make a motion to approve case number V 2019-005 as presented.
Do I hear a second?
I second the motion.
All right, thank you very much. Janet, we'll share the wealth. All right, any discussion on this? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, it's approved. Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
sir.
Congratulations, Kobe.
Thank you.
Don't cut down the trees
I'm
and
trying not to, I promise.
no
I'll be
mobile,
driving by
no mobile
soon.
home. All right, Karen, we're ready for case number V 2019-006.
So case number V 2019-006 Applicant Nick Braun is requesting a 5-foot variance from section 5.6.d B2 of the Stephenville zoning ordinance in order to construct a duplex dwelling unit in an R3 zone district located at 1163 West Swan Street, being Lot 5B and 6B, Block 12 of the South Side addition to the city of Stephenville.
This is easy. So glad you're here, because that would be the only thing that would help, that would make it to where we probably couldn't pass it. But you're here, so
Yes.
you want to just talk to this 5-foot?
Yeah, it's just, we're just 5 feet short of what we need. Of course, we designed the duplex to fit on the lot, so we actually have 15 feet setbacks on both sides, so it's not, we're not even fitting tightly in there, so, that's it. So we tried to get it to fit easily in there, so.
Well, this drawing shows it kind of like an overlay. Is that because the
Which one? On this one here, or?
No, she's
No,
not.
It's just a couple different pages. We
I
have
think she was
a,
talking
there,
about that
that
one.
one.
Yeah.
This one right here, it shows kind of like an overlay in green versus the original red.
Oh,
am I?
that's just to show, that's his lot
That's
right
the-
there.
They just
Okay,
missed the
so
box
that's
and
just
put it
a-
on there.
Yes, yes.
I think, yeah,
Off center.
that's you
Okay,
guys.
Cool.
Oh, your CAD was just.
Not
a little-
exact.
It's not mine.
Yeah, I
That
don't
one's
know
not mine.
why.
That one
That's-
belongs to the city.
I got
I
you.
would never.
Really, can you imagine?
No, I don't know why that line, I noticed that too
Yeah,
when I pulled
yeah.
it up, that it was off.
It should be,
might be
it should
not
be
the
on the
same as
red.
On it,
Property
yeah.
line.
I thought that might be the 5 feet then.
So we're having to replat it, and there's a couple of things we're going through with all that lot anyway, so,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
some of that's part of the confusion, but that's it, and it's the width, is, I have all the numbers here. We're at 40 feet wide, I mean, we have 30 feet, left us, 15 feet per side from the lot, so the setbacks are easily met, so hopefully
Very good.
it's an easy one.
Are you gonna have a backyard?
Yes, yes, we'll have a 35-foot setback from the back and 25 from the front, so we'll meet all the setbacks.
Do we have any questions, other questions from the board? Do we have anyone from the community speaking to it? Okay. Did you fill out the little form that we have for Shira, if you?
It's at the very end. Like that.
On that little
Right,
table.
like right on the little table right here.
Oh, okay.
So if you'd please introduce yourself and,
Yes, my name is Donna Wagner, and I own the house that is next door to 1163 Swan. I own the house at 1155 Swan, and it's next door. And I just have some concerns about this, and I'm opposing this variance. All right, and my concern is water drainage. There's the water drainage on my property, on the adjoining properties, on his property. Water flows down apparently from Long Street, and it comes down on all of our lots. Miss Judy Baker is here also, as she lives across the street, and we have water that pools on my lot. I've got pictures here. There's pictures of my lot where it pools, and also it shows how it comes down these streets, 2nd Street, 1st Street. It rushes down fiercely, water does, and it's eroding those streets. It's eroding the properties nearby, but it is causing water to stand in all of our lots. I have water that stands at the back of my house. You'll see it on there. It stands at the back. It pools in my yard. I took pictures of his lot where water stands. It stands back there after this last rain, which really wasn't even that big. I mean, it was 2+ inches. I went over there. Water was rushing. You couldn't even walk in the lot without it, bogging up to above your ankles. So there is a bad drainage problem. So I feel like I'm not opposed to new construction, but I feel like with that lot already collecting so much water that's coming down, he's going to be putting asphalt for parking, concrete. So therefore, his lot will be okay, but all the water will go onto the adjoining lots. They will go across to her lots, and will create more problems if there's not some drainage in place. If someone doesn't do something prior to construction to find a runoff where they don't run on my property, where they don't run on the other property, and flood our properties even more, because we have a problem there.
You're saying maybe ditches down each side or
Something, yes.
Are there curbs? There's not curbs, are there?
No, there's no curbs.
No opportunity for a drain off the street.
No, and the water just stands, and when you put concrete, when you put asphalt, his property will be okay, but all that will run off. So that's gonna create problems for all of the adjoining owners.
Will that property be built up
No.
with the asphalt and all of that?
It will, right, so you have to obviously put a driveway in. So when we work on these lots, if you, without seeing it, the water runs from the back to the front, the way they're designed. Now, once it gets to the front, I can't speak for what happens then, that really does become a city discussion.
Yeah.
Where that water goes. When we build the house, we'll build our house up, so no water can get to the house, but what we do is we grade away from the house. But the expectation is, and the requirement is all that water runs forward.
Yeah,
So it'll run off the house, but just, and then it'll all run forward, so what we do is not gonna affect the adjoining lots. I mean, it's, if there's a problem, we've all got the same problem, but ours will flow from back to front. I mean, but so the concern is tied to almost anything you build there, whether it's a duplex or a small home or a big home, but it'll run from the back to the front. We're not allowed to push the water from our house into your houses to protect our house. So it'll go off the side, but it all runs to the forward, to be in the street. So if there's a problem, I'm not saying there's not a fight with the city to fix that, but what we're doing won't affect it
Well,
at all.
It would be
Well, you're
illegal.
saying that you're gonna build yours up. Well, if you build yours up, all the ones on the side will be lower. So his water will go into my yard, his yard,
Well-
unless you do a drainage in between.
What does it run now? Does it try to run from the back to the front? Is that what it's trying to do? Do you know? Like when it rains, are you trying to get water from the guy in the back to the front?
Yes, it's coming in the bag,
mhm.
and that's where it's coming on your lot too. I mean,
And
it stands in
That's
your
a
lot.
good thing. For it to run from the back to the front is what you want. That's what they're trying to get, is for that water to run off your lot. If you're capturing water on your lot,
Well,
that's really, that's
Well, it looks like
something
some
for
of it
you to
is
fix.
pooling at the
Well,
back of her lot.
Well, it's going across the street because it's going into Miss Judy's
Okay.
property. Her house is across the
That's
street.
her-
So it
they need to
is
build up their
coming
back.
and rushing down on her street, going across. So there's a problem up above us, but I just felt like this would create more problems. If he builds his up, he's got all this concrete, all this asphalt, so he's protected, but it's gonna go on us. So unless there's some drainage in between to make it go like he says, across the street, it's not gonna help her, but it'll help me, I mean, then, maybe the city has to get in. This is something he can do before his construction. And then you can then go, deal with your city streets, the way it's washing down and eroding Second Street, First Street, which it comes down really hard on those streets. So I just want something in place for him to avoid his water runoff coming onto mine. And
If
the
this
other side.
problem were corrected, would that negate your objection then?
That's correct. That's correct. I'm not opposed to building what he's wanting to build. I just want some drainage in between us where it will not go on my lot, it'll go.
Donna,
French drain's an option.
where's the water coming from, you're saying?
Pardon me?
You mentioned some street names. What, is it Swan you're saying, the water's
No,
coming
no, I'm
from?
saying they come down, water comes down from, the way I see it, is Second Street and First Street. Those are the pictures of the streets that I had
Here's
took
First.
pictures, yeah.
First, it's coming out of the backyard.
And then one of them
That's
is
what I'm-
Second Street.
Okay, so
I just took pictures of the street, just showing
No, I-
how fast it comes down streets, and it's,
so on this map, if you could just show us, what street is the water coming from?
This is First right here, and this is
Here's
Well,
Swan.
I don't know where it's coming. It's coming from, it's.
You say
coming-
there's a street up here.
Uphill.
And
I'm
what's-
assuming it's Long Street. I
Okay.
don't know. I mean.
So it's going through that's going through several lots before it gets to your
Before it actually
yard.
gets here, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a major problem, I think. You know, lots of
So-
apartments have
Which
been
everybody's
built,
gonna
and
have
it's
to-
just
And that might be
changed.
part of the problem,
And,
but-
and it's just changed it where there's so much concrete, there's so much pavement, and it has to go somewhere, so it's taking the path of least resistance, which is Long Street. And then it's coming down here because we're at a slope.
Right.
And so I'm sure these people, I haven't talked to them, but I'm sure they've got problems too, because this lady has problems even across Swan Street. So it's going down this way is what it's doing. I mean, it's the flow of the land, but what I'm worried is when he does it, and this is higher, then it's gonna go this way and it's gonna go this way.
But you're gonna grade the property
It
to
will,
where
but
it goes back to front.
Yes, I don't think that it's not like when the water sits off where we grade on the side, it's not like it just physically shoots over into the neighborhood. It will roll down towards your properties, but then when it hits
The grade.
flowing forward, it's gonna flow forward. It's not gonna just keep shooting over into your place. Like this right here, we'll fix this on our lot. We won't let this stay. Like on our personal lot, when we're done, it will
Right.
grade from the back to the front, away
Well,
from
I
the house.
understand you're gonna fix your
All
lot.
of this is normal. All this is what so you know the gutter sits, there's a gutter up here. We actually own this lot too. And all that water runs through here and it's running right down through here and that's what they want. They're trying to get the water to run down here into this drainage system. So you want it all running through there. Our lot won't affect your lot at all. I mean, I'll fix ours while we're on it, but we won't fix ours by pushing onto your lot. We're not,
But I
we're
just
not
want,
allowed
I just
to.
want something that will not, more won't go on it, and it won't be pushed more, and I would love for mine to go out in your drain too, which it will, because I mean, all this is one big pool of water right here when it rains. The whole thing right here is full. So if you fix yours, then, I mean, I just want my water to run down that same drain.
Are
You need a
are you
slope of
holding
the
water
land to
in
go
your
from
yard
back to
here?
front.
Well,
holding water?
That's
like
what it
this.
looks,
Well-
it must be
This
back.
is
Well-
our property, right? Am I?
Yes, that's your property.
But here's some
Yeah.
other pictures. Here's
Okay.
her property.
Yes, it's pooling right here,
Oh, yeah.
which I can, well, it's pooling right, this is the back of my house.
Is this the corner that we share? Is this
Yes,
just our
that's the
lot
corner we share. Mm-hmm.
So that's here. This area, right here, I think.
Okay.
So-
Yes, well, no, my house sits here.
is this just right here where all this water is though? Is that in our corner back here? Is that what he's?
You can see
That's what
where
I'm
her
saying,
house
is
is right here.
here's your lot,
Mm-hmm.
here's your house, here's the corner that you've taken a
Is that where
picture.
this water is?
No, no, it's right here. It's right here. Now,
Now,
water
she lives right
stands
here.
all back here, just like it's standing in your lot.
Is your house right here?
Yes. mhm.
Okay. The thing
So water
is,
stands here, so I just want an outlet to get mine going out right there, which I'll do my part, you know, to do what I need to do it, but I just wanna make sure that yours is.
you probably
not
hate
going-
to, the way to fix this is
Okay.
you need to redo your dirt work. This
Right.
wouldn't be these guys, and what I'm doing won't affect you at all, but this, we won't keep this from happening. Our water will run
No.
off and not to you, but,
Okay.
I
Well-
mean.
Well, if yours runs off, then what's all in my backyard and coming, hopefully it will then go the
Go that
path.
direction and then
Go
take
the
the
path
path.
of
I
least
agree, hopefully, but I
resistance.
hate to create that expectation, because
Well, then let's plan something then. Let's plan something to make this water, you know, go, because all this is one even lot now, and it's all even. But when you build it up, it's not gonna be even. This is gonna be higher and this is gonna be lower. I just want, you know,
Yes.
mine to go flow with yours.
And I don't just.
And I'll do some work, too.
And now's the time to do it. I guess what I'm gonna tell you is there'll be costs associated with coming over to your side and
Mm-hmm.
getting your lot to where it flows. And I sure don't mind working with you. We'll have people out there doing it. We can fix whatever you've got for
Mm-hmm. Okay.
water to run where it's supposed to go.
Okay.
I sure don't mind working with you and getting you out there and come up with a plan together.
Yeah, this is my problem, but.
I agree,
but-
that needs to go. You
Yeah,
need to
yeah,
get
that
our water
needs-
out of there. I agree 100%.
Yeah, I know that, but then the whole lot here that's coming down,
Mhm.
I just want all that to flow down this way. And if some of it was taken this way, it wouldn't pool as much there. Now, it's gonna pool some because it's been doing that here for the last few years since the water
You
has
wanna
kind
keep it moving.
of, has changed. Yeah, I just, yeah, and I'll work with you on getting this, getting this done, and I don't mind paying for it. Like I said, I just want you to make sure that you've got, where all of our waters, not just yours, but this coming in my yard too will divert that way.
So,
This is something that we need to move along though, but I
Yeah.
think you guys could hopefully talk about, you know, work this out.
it's probably not even a discussion for,
Yeah.
I think this is really a
It's
discussion for
probably
you
not,
and me
Yeah.
to
but-
work together. What we do will not push water onto your property. So
Okay.
if we just go and do our thing and take care of number one, which is what we would do, it wouldn't help you, but it won't hurt you either, right? We would get our water draining and everything would go. If we need to work with you to help you get some of this water out of there, we will,
Yeah.
but I agree, that's really a discussion for,
Now, see, it goes all
I'll
the
exchange
way up.
information.
you're holding plenty of water, for sure. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, see, this go,
I agree.
and all this is wet, and yours is right alongside it. See, this is yours, and this is mine. This is that same fence line. See, you're holding about as much as I am,
Yeah.
right there. You know, mine just is backing up to the house.
And we'll
But-
fix
but
ours,
all
but
this
I
is
won't fix
wet.
it by pushing it onto yours though. I can't, I'll fix mine, but I would never have fixed it and pushed it onto your property. I would push my stuff forward. So while we're out there though, definitely, we will work with you to help get some of that out of yours. But we won't sabotage you to save us, we can't.
No,
All of our water
no.
needs to go forward, so we'll fix
Yes.
our yard, but we won't push it onto yours, but we definitely.
And
Okay.
and my sense of it is,
Ready to go.
whether we grant this 5-foot variance or not, you're still building, and
Yes.
there is still
We
this
would still
issue.
put
Yeah.
something
So
on there.
you
something.
guys
Yeah,
really need to
yeah,
work.
I know you will,
Yeah.
I know you
He's
will.
still
So-
gonna have to meet the requirements
Yeah.
set by the city with his building, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is,
So-
thanks for the plot.
I hope you feel heard.
Yes, I
Yeah.
do, I
Okay.
do feel your hurt,
You guys exchange
and I think
information
we can work
continue
it
the
out.
Good.
I just, you know, there is a problem. There's
Yeah,
a problem.
Do you mind if do you have an extra copy of that?
These are all for you.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
thank you.
Here, my phone number's on that sign.
And then,
Just stay in
and
touch
then
with me.
just,
We'll be out there, you'll see us out there, so.
just for
Okay.
due
Come-
process,
come
did you want to come also address the board or not?
Okay, okay. Well, thank you, I appreciate
You
you
bet, you bet.
working with me
Now's the
on
time while we're
that.
out there, it's so much easier while
Yeah,
we're there.
let's,
You
let's,
bet.
let's
You
do
bet.
that, let's do
Can I
that.
just ask a question?
Now, this is Judy, she's across the street.
Well, I mean, if you do appreciate that you would fill out the form and,
I'll fill out the form.
because then that way we're actually doing this all according to due process and
Judy, what
that way we're
address do you
making
live at?
an informed
Ma'am?
decision.
What address do you live at?
1140?
1140.
Okay.
It's
right.
it's a house,
Directly across the street.
it's right here. There, ever since that house was built a long time ago, there has always been a drainage problem there because, on either side of the house and the big huge lot that's behind it, when it rains, water stands back there. And it's causing, but we've had a lot of rain this year, and that don't help any either. I guess my question to you is, how are you going to face this house? Is it a 1-story, 2-story, or what?
Can you go back a couple pictures and find that front elevation of that house so she can see it? She'll be seen when she looks at it. It's kind of, so it's fairly narrow and deeper. Go back one on the side. So that top view is the front.
The water just flows down Long
So
Street.
this is what, when you look out here, this is what you'll see here.
Okay,
So,
I look out my front door. That's what I'm gonna see. Where's the duplex? I only see one
well,
door.
just for the record, that's a great question, because we tried to make it look like a home and not a duplex.
Well,
So if you'll go, can you go to the next picture?
Mhm.
So use the front door for one unit is right here, the other door is right here on the side.
okay, so how,
There it is.
So see this is that side of it, and there's the door for that side. So it's a 2-bedroom and a 3-bedroom, and the 3-bedroom kind of wraps over the 2-bedroom.
okay, how? Why?
It's
Is the front of the house?
39 feet, 39 feet. The lot is almost 70, and then that whole building is 39 feet wide. It's deeper, but that was intentional.
Where are you going to put the parking? Because that's street was really narrow.
It'll be out front, I mean, it'll face the street, I mean, it'll bump up against, it'll face your driveway, so,
But it'll be on the lot.
yes.
Right.
Right, so you'll have one
Driveway
sidewalk
like any
that
other driveway.
leads to the side of the house for entrance over here, then the other sidewalk leads to the front of the other house, but we actually worked very hard to not make it look like a duplex, since it's in the middle of several houses, so that it would look more like a home,
Yeah.
not like a duplex. So, I was telling my wife, you said that, because that's what she was going for, was for it to not look like a duplex.
But the parking will be
It'll-
in front
It will
of the
be,
house.
just like all the other houses where you have driveway, it'll be the same thing, you'll just have a driveway in front, just like your home. Does that make sense? Do you see that?
Yeah, I
Okay.
see it, but I'm thinking how deep, what is the outside dimension?
So the house is just under 40 feet, so it's 39 feet some change is the width of the duplex. All right, and the driveways, the requirement of driveways to have at least 2 parking spots per dwelling, so you'll have 2 spots per side.
I was wrong.
What it's going to be. I know that you have set back at least 25 feet.
That's what it'll be. The front of the house will be at 25 feet.
And that is from the property line back.
We go from, it'll be from the road back. We go wherever that property line, we'll mark those corners, and we'll run a string and go 25 feet back from that.
All of those houses over there, there's nothing except a pin out here that shows where the corners are on the lot.
Yes. And you see that, they flagged it the other day. You see the
I
2
haven't-
red flags, there's 2 red flags. Those are our flags for the front of ours. So we'll set back from those flags, which are just short of the road.
But I'm thinking with her on that
So-
drainage, there's already drainage problems there. Because when it rains, it comes across the street. There's nowhere for it to go except beside the house at 1140.
Yeah. I'm
And
gonna.
it goes into that
I
back
think
lot.
I'm gonna stop the proceedings at the moment. I'm gonna kind of, we're still in a public hearing and we have a resident expert. Here's Alan Nix. Let me just ask you as a city councilman, where, no pressure. Where in city governance is this issue best addressed?
Well, in the codes and ordinances, there's drainage requirements for any kind of construction.
Yeah.
And you have to deal with the water that's generated on your property and the structure and pavement on your property, or take it to the right of way, one or the other.
I understand that. What I'm asking is, there seems to be an issue right now with the current state of affairs with these 2 houses because of the drainage coming from Long. So which government entity do they need to address this issue with? Like to help remedy this drainage issue, which is well beyond the purview of what this committee is doing, or the board is addressing with this request.
I agree wholeheartedly that the drainage issue that they're concerned with is far beyond what his request is.
Yeah.
But it's obviously a concern for the neighborhood.
Right.
Karen, I can answer better than I can, that the city has inspectors that can go check for drainage issues, and she can probably address it better than I can.
Well, that's what I was
All right,
gonna
Karen.
suggest, is that, after the meeting, I get with the engineer and we look at the drainage there and see if there's anything that we can do and what process we need to take to
But-
address that drainage
But I don't
issue.
believe that it's a drainage issue regarding 10, 5,
5 feet.
well, not only that,
No, on
but
his-
11,
63. Talking about the address?
63
Yeah.
is the one.
1163.
1163.
1163.
It sounds like it's a systemic issue that's, maybe the source is Long, maybe it isn't.
And
But
he
it's
will
other
have to-
properties, other
That's right.
lots, so that's what I'm asking. So it would be Karen, and then working with the city.
He will have to address his drainage
Sure.
issue. You know, he has to put a plan together, show his drainage for his project to move on to get a CO to even do his building. But the drainage for the block.
The neighborhood,
The
yeah.
neighborhood would have to be looked at from our city engineer, public works department, and then see what we can do to even address that issue.
So what I'm asking is there a,
Directly.
is there a,
They can address that to you directly.
Yes,
Well-
the information that you give me on this, then I can contact you and let you know what we have found out and what, if anything, we can do about that.
Well, I'm not opposed to him building because
okay,
it's gonna be this nice place, well, the property value,
right,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
especially for the brick houses that are about across from you.
Yes, I've seen your place.
Yeah.
My-
Each month.
My concern, Alan, for, you know, and Karen, is that
Doesn't he mow?
I'm not sure where the proper place to file a complaint like Donna's or Judy's is, and I want to direct them to the
It
place
would
to
be
do that.
with
So
me.
it's with
Mhm.
Karen,
And then
so,
we'll go
I
forward
think
with
Karen would be the appropriate channel to go through.
very good.
To deal with the city code enforcement and with the city
Drainage
inspection,
and-
with the city engineer. And there may be drainage issues. One of our problems is an existing drainage issue like that. The city's restricted on going on private property and constructing or altering or doing things like that.
Right.
But before he gets his permits and certainly a CO, he has to conform with the requirements that says he will deal appropriately with the water from his property.
Yes.
And that does not mean pushing it to the neighbor.
Of course, right.
He has to deal with it in a manner that's according to the requirements of our ordinances.
So all that can work in conjunction with Donna and Judy as well. I mean. that
So
could
it
be-
sounds like Donna and Judy have now, you know, we've at least begun the process, some good steps to where your concerns can now hopefully be remedied by the city. So if you would please talk to Karen afterward, that'd be great.
It would be my suggestion that especially Donna, since she's gonna be next door.
Yes.
They work together. I did with my neighbor when I was building a new house. We were building houses at the same time. We
Yeah.
contoured the lots and made a drainage area between the lots to take it to the
Sure,
street.
sure.
Something like that might be possible there. I've not seen the topography of the lot and I don't know, but I think something like that might be an option there, that having the cooperative spirit of the two property owners could be worked out for that specific instance. Now, the area behind and or adjacent to that, I'm not sure about that. That's gonna take wiser people than me.
And anything on their property, I don't know that the city would have the right to say with their drainage. They might have to do their own drainage study to see what they
Right.
need to do to correct that. But as far as the right of way in the city's part, that's something that we can look at and address.
Thank you. All right,
Judy,
so
if you don't mind, if you'll fill this out so I'll have your information.
Okay,
do I hear any further questions for Nick?
yes, I have
From the
one
board.
question.
No, from the board. If you guys can talk, hopefully after, I think we've given this a fair hearing. All right, so I'm going to close the public hearing part, and we will now entertain a motion from the board.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we accept case number B 2019-006 as presented.
Second.
All right. Thank you, Devin. Thank you, Janet. Any discussion? All right. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
None opposed. So, Nick, your variance has been granted.
Well, that's guy got 25-foot variance in like 10 seconds.
We,
Stop it.
We'll get together. Thank you, Nick.
You bet, you bet, you bet.
all right. There,
Thank
You
you.
bet.
just making sure, we don't have any other new business, because I think we've addressed all the other things that are, and we'll maybe see everyone on June the 27th, and we'll be receiving an email soon, so, all right.
I will
It was
double check to make
March
sure.
14, because I.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we adjourn.
I'm- All in favor? Aye.
Aye.